have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
Hi.
Say welcome to the Dream Live Cat.
What the hell?
Say welcome to the Dream Podcast.
That's nigga. That's still not the name of it.
Say welcome to the Dream Lab.
Welcome to the Dream Lab Podcast Season 2.
Boom, 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 boom.
Wait, you got to do it again.
Do it one more time.
Oh, one more time? Okay. What's up, dreamers? Welcome to the Dream Lab Podcast Season 2.
Pew, 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 pew.
Y'all, our dear sister is on the sick and shut in list. Say hi to everybody.
I don't know if they can see it.
I don't know if y'all can see it, but
Yeah.
all is well. Bye. You
Wow.
never know how we gonna start an episode.
You never know. You never know. All right, that clap was really loud. I hope I didn't wake Dallas up.
She wake up at your claps.
I mean, just noises.
Dang. She probably got a strong clap the way she was moving her hands. I was like, she's very animated in what she trying to say.
I put the little the burp cloth over her while I'm feeding her. And I took the bottle out just to kind of see how far along we had went. And she just got like fidgety, and so she just started swinging on me. I'm like, hey, bro, you need to chill. Like, I got pissed off a little bit. I'm not going to lie, like just a little bit. I was just like, hey.
Now, who did she get that from? You or her mom?
Her mother.
Wow.
Absolutely.
We love you, Elise. Sorry.
Welcome to episode 11, season 2, episode 11 of the Dream Lab podcast. It's your captain, Dre Perry, Draylin Perry. My mother named me Draylin. You can call me Dre or Draylin. And I have one of two co-pilots. Kev Stewart is in the building.
That was for Chrissy.
I'm not exactly sure what that was. Yeah, so if you're not blind, Christian's not here. But she's not feeling the best today, but we still had to push forward with recording because we believe in consistency around here.
That's right.
And so she sends her love, and she'll be back for the next episode. But you got me and Kev today, and we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to catch up on.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm doing good. I feel blessed.
Blessed.
Yeah, I've been really focusing in on my own relationship with the Lord. I am still working on getting my mindset out of the whole church thing and doing things for God, for people to be seen by people, but really just doing them to be in great relationship with Him. And I can honestly say that I'm enjoying that. Like the time of meditation before, like even while I'm driving to work, I'll read the scripture for the day a couple of times, compare the verses in different translations. Whatever stands out to me, I'll pray about those things, and I'll ask the Lord to give me revelation. And honestly, the last couple of days, I have been asking the Lord to open my eyes and ears to see and hear Him more clearly so that I can know when He's talking and what His will is for my life. Because even though I'm in a different space, it's like, okay, well, how am I navigating through this? Am I going too far with what I'm doing? Is my representation on social media okay? Is what I'm doing on a daily basis, is it all right? Like, what exactly would you want me to change? And if not, what direction do you want me to go in? There was one scripture that said that, it was two of them. I think it was one that was in like Proverbs 23 or something. I could be lying, but I think it was Proverbs 23, and it was saying that the spirit of truth will guide you into all. It will guide you into something, but it was saying that the Spirit of God will give you revelation for His word. And I love that scripture because it was like, for me, your spirit is going to provide the truth, but you're going to give me the revelation for what I need for your word. And then I think the scripture, like yesterday, was talking about that when the Spirit of truth comes, it will lead you in the right direction. And I was like, perfect. So literally you've reminded me this week that if I lean more into your spirit, I'll have the direction that I need to go in, and you're going to help me make those decisions. Because it's a lot of decisions I got to make. Like I'm still contemplating moving, still trying to figure out where I'm dropping this album, still trying to figure out how resources are going to be provided for it, which I already believe that I have them already. But again, it's like everything in God's timing. So I'm like, okay, since you reminded me of this, let me lean more into your spirit and search for your voice so I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing versus like feeling like I'm wondering. And I don't feel like I'm wondering anymore. I feel like I'm finally aligning myself. It's been a year since I've been out of church, out of a church membership. And the Lord literally told me the other day, like, it's been a year now, almost a year, and you still haven't invited me into your situation. I said, yikes. You've talked about it. You've tried to defend yourself. Well, not really defend yourself, but you've been, trying to figure out how to defend yourself and what to say. And he's like, you never invited me in. Like, I got you. So I really believe that God is getting ready to redeem the time of that I felt like I've lost in that last year because I'm now putting him back in his place. Boom. That's how I'm doing. Draylon, how are you? That was a lot, right?
Nigga, first of all, you clearly prepared that soliloquy before you got here.
No, not necessarily. You know when it's just really where you are.
No, I feel it. No, I definitely
it just be
feel
like,
it.
nigga, I'm just in a happy place.
It feels authentic. It feels authentic. So I'm just joking.
But that was a good joke. I'm not gonna hold you up.
Sometimes I hit him with the 1-2. But no, so I feel that now. I have a question though.
Okay.
And it's to you and to anybody who will listen. Do you think sometimes we put everything on God when it's really on us? Like, and before you answer, like there's so much that I'm learning that we have access to, that we can tap into right now.
Yep.
And it's like everybody's, well, I'm just waiting on God to drop this miracle. I'm waiting on God to do. I'm waiting on God. And God is like, you're not. All of this stuff, if you read my word, all of this stuff I've already told you is done. You see what I'm saying? Like, we was talking about by stripes we are healed. Like, so that's something that you just tap into. If you believe you're healed, then you're healed. You see what I'm saying?
And it's an ED on it.
Yeah, it's past tense. So it's like, what are we waiting on? Something that was here before you were here.
I think for me, it's been more so of just I needed and still need the reminders, because again, from where I previously was to where I am now, I got so unfocused. It wasn't so much of me not having what I need. It was me not reminding myself that I already have what I need. So now when I said me leaning more so into his spirit as far as the decisions, the way that I hear God's voice for me personally, because everybody's way of hearing him is differently. Me is through prayer, meditation, and his word. Those three things were not my main focus. So again, I probably would have realized that I had more and could have made more decisions and been successful in them if I would have kept those things the main things, because there wouldn't have been no room for doubt, for fear, for contemplating, for me being double-minded. Because it's like, nigga, you're double-minded because you're not stable in this area. This is what helps me to stay functional and to keep dreaming. My dreams die away from the Father. I don't know if that's for anybody else. But again, I always reference the B. Simone stuff. Even though she's a secular, artist or a secular comedian, she still referenced how her relationship with the Lord has gotten her where she is. He didn't per se give her the money to go and start a podcast, but he told her what to go and do, and she did it. So again, if I'm just so disconnected and so frantic, it's like, nigga, no, he will keep you in perfect peace who keeps his mind stayed on him. I think that was the scripture for the day. But one of the translations said, he'll keep you in perfect and something peace, all whose imagination is consumed in him.
Right.
So again, it's like, if you're not filling your brain with the right stuff, nigga, you always gonna be. And Draylon, I honestly just got tired of being like all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, I know who I am. I love my identity. I love where I am as a person right now.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, let's get even more stable. Like, you're finally comfortable and confident in who you are as a person, not a creative, not an artist, not a preacher, not an intercessor, nothing. I like Kevin Stewart. I literally said that to myself today. I really like who I am now.
And a lot of people cannot say that about themselves.
Nope, because they're still trying to be something that people want them to be. No, who are you called to be, and who do you want to be? There's a way for those two to mish and match. God did not give you the ideas and the dreams that you have just for you to let them sit dormant because somebody else may not think that they line up or look like what they're supposed to look like for your life. Newsflash, my nigga, you didn't create me. He did.
Absolutely.
So how can I be confident?
Do what you're assigned to do, not what you're assumed to do.
Yep. How can I be confident though? For me as a Christian, how can I be confident and make the moves that I need to make or want to make if I'm not in a great relationship with him? And that's just how I feel. Period. Boom.
Okay. Well, I just to my question, I think the reason why I asked it is because I know a lot of people, you know, we hear it all the time. People are waiting on, they're waiting on. And it's just like, bro, what else are you waiting on? Like, you know, it's God gave you that thing when you were a child. You know, that thing that that's been in your heart.
Yep.
That was your like what do you wait? What else are you waiting on? Like, what other green lights are you waiting on? Are you waiting for all of the lights to be green? It's never like that. They're not synced like that. You got to go when it's time to go.
Yeah, but sometimes it's that whole, not even just being comfortable. It's almost like looking for that approval, because a lot of us have looked for that approval through people to feel like, oh, this is the right decision, or
Absolutely.
I'm doing the right thing, or I sound good, or I'm singing good, or the music is amazing, or the podcast is amazing because they approve it.
So that's the flesh issue.
Yes.
It's not,
Yes,
you know, what we claim all of the flesh issues are. The issue is I'm not confident with myself because of X, Y, and Z. I dealt with this traumatic experience happened and it affected me this way. And now I'm moving in ministry based out of my traumatic experiences. I'm moving in ministry based on my insecurities. And now I'm saying, oh, I'm doing this in the name of God, but it's just like you still a little kid that hasn't dealt with your issues and it's showing.
And a little kid has to heal in order for the adult to develop into his, hers, whatever, fullness.
So what happens is, bro, once we figure it out, once we deal with the traumatic experiences, once we go through therapy, once we've gone through this maturing, a lot of us change what we want to do. Most people don't even want to do the same things because the things that you wanted to do is because you saw the attention that everybody else got, and because as a kid you didn't get attention from your family, or you didn't get attention in school, or girls didn't like you, or the boys picked on you, or whatever it is. So you found a job or a career or a pathway to give you that fulfillment. That fulfillment. It's like a drug. You see what I'm saying? It's a high that you get from doing this. And so they go into these different positions, and then you bleeding on people, and you're not even operating the way God wants you to operate in whatever career pathway or whatever it is that you're doing. And is when you actually do the work, do the inner work, that you actually get to the point you was like, I actually don't want to be a teacher.
Yep.
I actually don't want to be this or that, or I didn't want to do this, or I actually didn't want to marry this. Like, some people get married out of that because they just, my first marriage, the reason why I stayed in it so long is because of insecurity on my own. Like, I no self-worth. So we'll stay in something, do something, and we frustrated. And it's just like, Jesus said to love your neighbor as yourself. And I've said this before, in order to love your neighbor, you have to first know how to love yourself.
And people don't know how, because we're always in a mode of trying. Sometimes, and again, I can only speak for me, I used to always be in a mode of trying to prove something to people.
Yeah.
Versus just being 100% authentically me. Because a lot of people always tell me, I love you because you're just yourself and you're always nice. And it's like, back then I used to be like, y'all love me for being myself, and I'm still struggling trying to figure out who I am. But for them, it's like, you're so free, and it's crazy, Dre. Like, even now, like, I was mad the other
This sinister
day.
laugh.
I was mad. No,
Clutch his pearls.
because I was mad. I wasn't mad, and if just in case they watch, I wasn't mad, y'all. But I was hanging out with some of my friends at a nice bar downtown, really cool. If y'all don't know from my Instagram, Kevin Stewart Jr., like, I love going out. Like, Draylon would text me and I'm like, oh, bro, I'm out, or bro, I found a new place to go to, or bro, we have to try this. I love going out. I love all of that. And I was out with some friends, and bro, I'm just on the dance floor, just dancing in the middle of where we was at. And the girl walks up to me and said, oh my God, I love you even more. I see you at 10:45 service. I was just like, okay. I love you. What's your name? Da-da-da. Okay.
Because
you
watch
gonna be there
this.
tomorrow? She's like, yeah, okay, perfect. But in my mind, at first I was mad, like, I can't go nowhere because every time I go out, I see somebody. But then I had to think about it. I'm like, you weren't doing anything wrong. You were literally having fun with your friends. And maybe that's what she needed to see. Like, even though he's on that platform, this nigga live a regular life just like me. And he's still, representing Christ in a way where he don't look stupid.
And it's so subjective, bro. Like to maybe a pastor like that, maybe like, oh, that was inappropriate. But for somebody like you said who needed to see that, or it didn't sway them, it didn't affect your witness to them. Like they were just like, you know what, it's cool. I was able to see the balance. For too many of us, all we see is one side, and then that's the side that where niggas like implode because there is no balance.
Nope, I am the balance king. And again, I know for me, my own conviction when going too far is too far. But I had to switch my perspective in that moment once I got home. Like, no, like, it's okay. Like, again, if you're out having a good time, she was with her homegirl. And even before I left, I went over and gave them a hug. I told her, I'll see you tomorrow, da-da-da-da-da. But again, I had to realize people have made you feel like you should not be here. You're not in here drunk. You're not in here dragging on the floor. You're not in here.
Shame, guilt, condemnation has made you
Can't
feel
stand
that.
it.
And that's not of God. So it's every time you feel that, it's just like, this isn't God.
Nope. Not for y'all watching. I'm not saying y'all go out here and be acting a fool or a donkey when y'all go out. But I'm
saying every now and then.
Are
Go
you
ahead.
crazy?
Go ahead, be a fool every now and
Be a
then.
fool and a donkey with discretion, praise God, because the Bible does tell us to be blameless. But I do want to say to anybody out there, because I always talk to you about it, Dre, a lot of the young, because I hate saying this like this, because I don't ever want to come off like we're bashing the church or bashing young preachers. So let me put that disclaimer out there. I'm not bashing young preachers. I'm not bashing the church, because I love the church, nigga, and the church needs me and I need it. But I want to say this. I think they don't really train a lot of the young. I don't believe they train a lot of the young preachers to live normal lives. And it's a couple of them that I follow on Instagram. And I feel so sad because it's like, y'all so churchy for no reason.
Yeah.
Like what, and actually, I wanted to reach out to two of them and say, hey, can we just go to dinner? Like, can I just have a conversation with you? Because I'm curious to know what your mindset is. Because like, I can understand you being an inspired preacher and you want to preach the gospel, you want to do the work of the Lord. But I want to ask you, do you have balance? Do you have a mentor that's teaching you balance? And when I say balance, that's not me telling you go to the bar and get drunk or go to the cigar bar, because that's what a lot of preachers love to do. And that's no judgment. I love that y'all have an outlet. But who's teaching y'all to have an outlet and to be normal? I don't never see, shout out to Frank Harris. I love Pastor Frank Harris. Shout out to, what's his brother-in-law name?
Pierce.
My homeboy, Kenny Pierce.
When you put on a spot, you can't never.
Right. But shout out to them, because they are integral men who live regular lives, but who still carry their anointing in a certain way. But I'm saying shout out to them because for me, their presence on Facebook isn't always deep. Sometimes it may be out with them with their brothers. Sometimes it may be out with their children. Sometimes it may be out with their wives. But I've never seen them get on Facebook and be so prolific and prophetic. And it's like, y'all can't even see from their lives. And I'm just using them two as an example. To me, what they present on Facebook is them in real life, because I actually know them. I actually know these people. And they live a regular life. But when it's like, why y'all get on Facebook and y'all want to be so deep? Like, these niggas is preaching down. The Lord has blessed them to be across the world and do great things. But I do not see them on their Instagram story tomorrow. Brothers and sisters, today is Wednesday and I want you to go out and win. Nigga, you don't think I know how to do that already? Be normal. I don't see TD Jakes doing that when he gets on this story. I don't see Noah Jones. I don't see Pastor Jamal Bryant will do like dope stuff on his podcast, but that nigga don't like y'all. I'm like, you're only 12. Why do you sound like?
Why do you sound like you're 64?
Like, nigga, seriously, like,
but we unfortunately, especially in the black community, we were raised, do as I say, not as I do. And so I think
if I do crack, don't do it. But if you see me doing crack, don't mind it and act, hello. Don't even give me help. Just act like you didn't see me doing it. Got it.
So it's like the actions are always the ones that kind of like stick out. Like there's always like this conflicting, like I'll say one thing but I do another thing. So for a lot of people, as it relates to church,
She's crying.
Yeah, she is. It's the doing that they that's the front. You see what I'm saying? So we can act like we 64 and we super Kojic or Baptist or whatever, but we still live in hellish lives. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think that not all of it. Some people, that's just their character. That's just who they were raised under. A lot of people tell me I have like an old man's personality. I was raised by an old man. No, in some of the things that I do, like how I move, like I ain't no, like most people my age, like that's like out here. I can't think of no examples, but don't.
You're mature. I wouldn't say you act. Oh, you're mature. You have a wife. You have a child. Even before you had a kid, like nigga, you just always like you. I'm probably more childish.
That's the word that they want to say, but it's kind of like, you know, it's like when people aren't what they need to be, they kind of downplay you, so they'll say something like, "Oh, you act like an old man," and when in reality, I'm mature because
they've never hung with you before.
But anyway.
Gotcha.
But it's like we can't take those actions and make it seem like that's the thing that, because all we're doing is we're fronting for people. If you going around talking a certain way and dressing like you 70 but you're really 15, that it's something that you learned, but that doesn't make you holy. That doesn't do anything. It does nothing.
You just look like Steve Harvey. And y'all do. Y'all look like Steve Harvey. But to Draylen's point, even for me, when I was younger, and I thanked my dad maybe a year ago, I remember like when I was really coming up and starting to really get noticed in the city for singing. Like I've been doing this for a long time, like a very long time.
For what?
A long time. Like I think I was maybe like 11, 12, bro. And I remember one time Aretha Franklin was having this big program at Greater Grace Temple, and Jimmy Dow, JD, who was still alive, he was like one of the other people that like founded me singing in the city. And specifically that day it was snowing outside and my mom was out of town for something and they wanted me to show up and sing the solo in front of Aretha. But my father was like, no, we're going tobogganing today. He said, me, you, your brother, we're going to go out with my cousin Sean and his boys. Where? Tobogganing. So it's basically sledding. You find a really big, you never been tobogganing? No. Bro, we have to go. You don't like the cold?
No.
Well, we just got to go one time.
It sounded like you was from Boston. Tobogganing.
No, tobogganing is really dope. Like it's literally like sledding.
Tobogganing or bogganing?
Tobogganing.
Oh, spell it.
I don't know, nigga. I went to DSA. Don't even do that. Don't even do that. Where's Bernard? He went to King. Shout out to Bernard. Oh, he went to King. But God. No, I appreciated my father for that moment. And this is just to bring it full circle to what we're saying. In that moment, my father was like, no. He's not going to be on the stage today. He's not singing. This is not a dog and pony show. Mm-hmm. He said, today my son is going to be a child. Mm-hmm. So I went tobogganing with my brother and my cousins. And nigga, we had the time of our lives. But I thought about that because you look at the stuff like Nickelodeon that all of those young kids go through and whatever else other young people have gone through in the industry. And it's like, for me, I have to thank my dad because my father still knew and recognized the anointing and gift of my life, but he still allowed me to be a kid.
Yeah.
And some of the kids, I don't think that y'all allowing them to be kids. Y'all see the gifting and anointing, but y'all still not giving them a chance to develop their own character and their own personalities. Your son should not be 13 acting like Bishop Jakes.
That's going to...
Or Brandon Jacobs. Or Mark Moore. Or Jamal Bryant. Let your son and daughter develop their own personality. Turn off the YouTuber preaching videos and go watch some old episodes on 106 in Park. And I'm not saying like feed your kid a bunch of like trash, bull crap and
balance.
Stuff. Yes, yeah. Let the kids be kids.
Yeah.
It's like y'all be complaining about kids dancing too much. No, y'all can overdose your kids on spirituality where these niggas can't even go on the playground and play. Why your son prophesying at 2? In daycare.
Right, and they have no people skills.
No people skills, but you know how to pray heaven down, but you can't do regular stuff. You working at the bank.
But that's why a lot of church people are mean as hell.
Is that coconut oil?
It is.
What you use that for?
My skin.
Oh, you know people be putting it in their mouth for their teeth.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they call it gum pulling or something.
Oh, I think I have heard of that.
Yeah, it's
I have
weird.
heard of
I'm
that.
sorry, I just went off topic, but that's why people are mean as hell. And what else?
No, that's why you meet a lot of mean people, like, because we put up, we go into this stuff as a front. It's supposed to, again, to kind of show off to other people. Hey, I'm holy. Hey, I go to church. Hey, I'm a good person. But in reality, you haven't done that inner work. And like I'm telling you, once you like right now, this place that I'm in, like I'm a lot of the stuff I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do this no more. I don't know if I want to do that anymore, because it's just like I was doing a lot of stuff for people.
Yeah.
And it's like how you were talking about how your dad kept that balance. Like I look at like one of my favorite artists, Michael Jackson, who is the biggest name in entertainment.
Absolutely.
However,
hands down.
Had a terrible childhood as it relates to not being able to be a kid. You were a businessman immediately at 10. You know what I'm saying?
Always chase that type of fulfillment, and that hurts.
But that's what I'm saying. And so then when people who did get a chance to experience it see that, and they like, oh, you weird. But then it's people who rich and who chasing these dreams, bro, and they never get a chance to experience real life. I saw an interview where he said he's never been to the grocery store. So his family set up something, or some friends of his set up something where they shut down a grocery store and had his family dressed up as like people who worked at the grocery store, just so he can experience going to the grocery store and shopping.
If I could be honest, that's why I'm like low key glad that the Lord has not really.
You see what I'm saying? And so you have to ask those questions like, nigga, do I even want to do any of this stuff? Like, why am I really doing this? And it's not until you work on yourself, until you figure out what you like, what you don't like. So then when it comes to dating, when it comes to your career, when it comes to college, a lot of us went to college and now we're in student debt because of our parents.
And don't even use degrees. I still don't understand.
I told my mom, I was like, I don't, college is not for, I don't know what I want to do. I just don't. And for a while we were kind of like battling back and forth, just bumping heads on it. But she eventually kind of understood what I was saying. And now when you look at it, like how many of us are doing things or have been doing stuff or in relationships, in marriages, living in states, you didn't move because your parents didn't want you to move. You didn't do this because of that person. What have you done for you?
And that's the question we got to ask. And even to this day, it's never too late for anybody that's out there watching the Dream Lab. It's never too late for you to make those adjustments and those changes.
Yeah.
Don't think because you're older and you're kind of settled in your nesting phase where you're like, I'm comfortable and I'm just setting myself up for retirement. Okay, yeah, that's fine and dandy, but there's still life in you. There's still a dream in you that still has to live. And you have to figure out a way to let that dream become reality, and it just one step at a time. Everything doesn't happen overnight, but don't forget you. I used to shout out to Rob Moss. He's an amazing artist, Dre. He lives in LA. Me and him were friends when I went to DSA. I said a lot of times.
That's okay. I ain't gonna tell nobody. Oh wait, people are watching.
Yeah, sorry. We went to DSA, and Rob Moss would check in with me like often, at least twice a year. We would talk, just to check in and see how each other were doing. And we were always sending each other our music we were working on. But at the end of every conversation, I would always tell Rob Moss, don't let the dream die. Like, he was always telling me, like, LA was not the sharpest place to be. It was hard. He was working 3 jobs just to pay this and do that. And I said, Rob, no matter what, don't let the dream die.
Yeah.
Don't ever let the dream die.
Because we talked about this in another episode, without a vision, people
perish.
And so I think Mike Todd made a point some years ago. I saw in a sermon he did, and he was talking about that's why a lot of people die when they're in their like 60s and 70s or 80s, because like they retire, and then if they don't do anything else, if they don't set themselves up, if they don't go explore the world, or if they don't get a part-time job, or if they don't get a hobby, when they end up getting sick. You see what I'm saying? Like it's the moment that we don't find anything to live for anymore, that we get into these systems where we just, all right, well, I just got to get a job, and okay, I just get married. I just married this person because, this is the type of person that, and you end up marrying somebody like one of your parents, and come to find out you have mommy and daddy issues. So now you got spouse issues.
That's crazy.
If you do not figure that out, like, it was ways like just about certain people in my family that I'm like, I don't like, I don't like that about them, or that about them irritates me. And then I grew up and I realized that I was kind of like that. But it's not until I had to look within and I was just like, it's a lot of work.
But it's so fun, like.
And I was just about to say that, but it's a beautiful experience.
It is, and it's so. I can only speak for me, like unpacking, unraveling, and undoing a lot of things that has been either spoken over my life or things that have been passed down has been the best part, because it's like, oh my God, I don't have to deal with that, or I don't have to do that. I don't have to be that,
bro.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
like reading. I just finished the audiobook, y'all. If y'all haven't listened to it or read it, The 4 Agreements, and the book literally.
I just got that one. I haven't.
Did you get audiobook?
Yeah, I have an
Bro,
audible. I
it's
haven't
only
listened
2
to it
hours.
yet,
2 hours and like 40 something minutes.
I got a baby now, so we can hang that up. I'm just playing.
The audiobook?
I'm just playing. I'm okay.
You could pop one earbud in and hold her.
I know. I'm just talking.
Are you
crap.
crazy?
I'm just talking crap.
But just listening to that book and understanding that a lot of things you can come out of agreement with that have even been spoken over your life or passed down. Like it was like this, just the 4 agreements alone that they were breaking down of like not taking things personal. Like, all of that stuff has really helped me to look at things differently. Where I'm like, all right, like it is what it is at the same time. But if you speak something over my life or whatever's been spoken over my life that I now can either come back into understanding of what was said, I come out of agreement with it.
Yeah, you can reject it. You do not have to accept what doesn't serve you.
But let me tell you what I feel like I have accepted. Really, real transparent moment. I'm really about to go there. Woo, season 2. Season 2. I think one of the biggest things that I now, and I'm saying this now, wow, I'm really about to say this. One of the things that I've realized that it has been like beat
Push
on.
pause. Do you really want to say this?
I do. I don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
One thing is never going back.
We can't take this back.
We can't. One thing that I can honestly say that has really been beat into me from childhood, elementary school, I'm going to say elementary school, middle school, and high school, it calmed down, was the whole thing of being gay. Like I constantly was taunted, talked about. People made me feel weird and because my voice was high. People made me feel weird because I sung high, and I wasn't the hardest guy.
Yeah.
Or the hardest crayon in a crayon box. But when I thought about
I've never heard that
That
analogy.
was good, wasn't it?
No, it was terrible. It was terrible.
But you get what I'm saying, bro? It's like when that thing has been literally forced down my throat all of my life. So when it came to like trying to work through things and allowing God to shape and form my life, I had to really think about it, like, this has not been something that just came about as far as a thought process. Like this is something that has been literally beat into your mind and forced down your throat every day of your life when you were younger. It was like, I didn't know what gay was. I didn't know what it was like.
Your words are so powerful,
and people don't. But it's also how you raise your children. It's like how y'all raise y'all kids. Like, why was your kid bullying me? Why was your kid calling me gay every day?
Because their parents is probably bullies.
Crazy than the mud.
I'm telling you, if we don't do that, so now you experience that, and so those words were spoken on you, and whether or not they manifested, however it works. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're not aware of that stuff, then you can't work against nothing. You have to live an intentional life.
Yeah, and then it always became harder for me because I was always self-conscious about everything. Is my skinny jeans? My skinny jeans reflect homosexuality. Me wanting to change my hair color reflects homosexuality. Me wanting to do this, and
well,
it's
I
like
didn't that wasn't mine. But
right.
I get what you're saying. As far as being self-conscious, I was just like, oh wait,
right? No,
we're not talking about the same thing.
Not. It's totally just me, y'all. But you see what I'm saying? Like,
push pause just right there. I think like some of these like church niggas be thinking that I'm gay because I'm not like a mean guy and I hang with gay people and like
they're stupid and they're not intelligent. Because
and I'm not trying to shade nobody. I'm not, but it's just like I'd be like, because they be like liking my pictures and I just be like, oh bro, it's not that.
Well, again, that comes with the stigma sometimes of that whole thing.
Being
is
in
like
church, that's what I'm saying. Being in
everybody
church,
thinks that, it's
singing,
like,
all of that stuff. It was family members that, like, it was, I forget who it was. It was a family member that said something to another family member when I first started like singing in church. Like, yeah, y'all better watch him because X, Y, and Z. Just kind of saying
but
stuff.
that's crazy. How about I just have a gift?
But it's people, again, like you said, not intelligent enough to know that. Why is it that maybe you see a lot of gay people in church? Just because somebody sing in church don't mean that that's what it is.
Right.
But if that, it just depends on the environment. All of it. There's so many different factors that play a part in that. Some people are gay on the outside, and this is the only place where they feel
Comfortable.
You see what I'm saying? So I know.
Or how about some of them are like super masculine in church, but on the outside there's something totally different.
It's so many conversations you can have about it, and that was like a little detour, but I just wanted to say that because it's just I'd be interested. I'd be like, no, don't, no. But again, and again, like there's no offense to them, like I just ignore it, But because I
but that's
don't,
maturity too, because some people would look at that as an opportunity to go off.
Man, I've seen
bro,
it.
I'll beat your A, and it's like it's not even all of that.
It's not that serious,
sometimes
bro.
you just gotta be like, bro. And again, fellas, women, sometimes it's not even y'all. It's nothing that y'all are giving off. It just may be their own perception because of maybe what they may think, which
That's
is
good.
again goes back to that book. You can't. What did I say? The book said, "Don't take everything personal."
Yeah.
How they may view you is not your fault. That's their view of you. It may not be true, and it may not be actual and factual, but how they view you is not your responsibility to defend. So if that's not what you prefer, it's like, no. But to circle back to what we were saying, bro, it's just, I understand now that a lot of things that we go through have literally been from words that have been spoken. Because I be thinking like, maybe I was just a creative kid, but y'all just kept throwing this stuff in. Throwing the words out there, and then because again, for children, sometimes if you keep saying things, they become intrigued and be like, well, what is that? Or what is, I remember going home crying to my mom because I was like, Mom, the kids at the school keep saying that I be going to Minjo's, I be doing certain stuff like that. And I'm like, Mom, what is that? And my mother had to explain that to me. But again, I was just a kid who loved music, who loved women who sung because their voices were higher. I couldn't sing a Usher song when I was a kid, nigga. My voice was too high.
Right.
So I gravitated more so towards the Beyoncés and the Destiny Child, and I was in love with. I love the Spice Girls. I thought the Spice Girls were really dope. But again, it's just weird that those things deemed me to be in that category, and it's like, nigga, that's crazy. Now, again, for me, I be looking like, nigga, the hardest niggas are walking around here, bro, are the niggas that's gay, and that's like, whoa. But, I said all of that to say, words do have power. And it's just crazy to me that when I really look at my healing journey, I had to deal with that. I had to deal with, there was one instance where in the healing and deliverance, they was like, can you go back to the first place where you felt the shame? And the first place I felt the shame was when my teacher asked, she called my name for attendance, and I said, here, and the entire class laughed. The entire class laughed because of how high my voice was. And they said, well, in that moment, could you find God? And with my eyes closed, I literally seen the Father standing behind me. And I had peace because I was like, okay, even in these moments, Father, you've shown me that you were always there. Even when I felt like I was by myself, nigga, that was lonely. And then I started to use my gift as a way to overshadow the fact that y'all call me gay. Overshadow the fact that I'm trying to figure myself out while having a battle with y'all. And then again, no offense to my parents had millions of questions that they were asking because again, they was like, he's probably not the brightest crayon in the coloring box.
Here
so let's try to figure out
crayon analogies again.
I'm just saying, like they were trying to figure out, what exactly was going on. So it's like, again, I'm only 10, 11 years old, and this homosexual topic is just circling me, and I can't get a break.
When you should just be being a kid.
Can't be a kid because everybody wants to know if I like boys. It's like, nigga.
Wow.
Have y'all ever nobody ever asked how my mental was? Now that I think about it, and again, I'm healed. I'm not saying this from a hurt perspective because again, I like who I am. I like who the Lord has developed me into. And again, I just love life right now. But I look at it and say, nobody asked me how my mental was. Nobody asked me, was I okay? Nobody ever asked me how I felt about those kids picking with me. It was just, well, are you? Nigga, what do you mean, am I? Did you ask me, did I cry after they say that?
Right.
Did y'all ask me if I wanted to kill myself after I had to deal 8 hours with kids calling me gay and not wanting to talk and not wanting to speak, and then going to lunch, having to sing to make niggas like me? So sometimes I always felt like that my music was an scapegoat to escape reality.
That's how it is, bro.
Sickening. But
I'm very glad that you are doing that work, bro. That you're able to, that you're aware of that. That awareness will change your life.
Yes, sir.
When you are aware of just the things that have hurt you, things that, just like you said, what you're gonna accept and what you're gonna reject. Once you are aware of that, like it's almost like, you know how AI is now, where you can just type in a prompt and then it creates it for you. That's our life. The more that you say something, you think on something, that's the way God created us. So a lot of times, and some people don't like to accept this, but your life is your fault. Now I get that people did things and said things, but now what are you going to do? You 40 and 50, and you singing the same sad song. What are we doing?
yeah,
What are we
that's good,
doing?
Dre.
Why haven't you? And it's good. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. Yeah, you're gonna cry. If you don't like to cry, let me tell you something. Healing Boulevard is not your street.
Yeah.
Because nigga, you're gonna cry.
You gonna scream too.
I mean, you're gonna sob, because it's a lot of stuff that you're unpacking, and it's a lot of stuff that it's like, oh, this is ugly, I'm gonna push this in the closet, and you put so many things on top of it, you forget it's there. So as you start pulling things back, you start to remember, oh my God, this is back there. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I gotta deal with this. And but again, like we said before, it's also a beautiful experience.
Yeah. And the ongoing journey of it is so dope, because you're always rediscovering something new to work on.
Yes.
And something to better yourself. But again, if you're not open to criticism and becoming better, you'll never...
And being okay with being wrong in certain situations, being okay with like, hey, I made the wrong decision.
Yep.
I did this. I did that. I said, if you're not okay with that, don't talk about, oh yeah, I'm on a healing journey. It's crazy. People be on a healing journey and it's just like, it's everybody else.
No, it's me, nigga. I have had to work on me.
This is my journey. So I got to figure out, okay, this happened to me. What am I going to do now?
And some people you'll end up letting go because the healed version of you can't handle the healed version of you. They can only handle the broke version.
Because they're still broke.
And some of it I can't take. I be looking at people now and I be like, you know what? Me having this conversation with you is not even beneficial because I already know where you at.
It's wasting my time.
And I'm reclaiming all of that.
It's wasted my time.
And I'm not doing it.
And that's another thing. Once you start working on yourself, you realize that time is like, all right, I've wasted a lot of time in spaces and with people in places that it was just, it's now that I think about it, it was exhausting. So now, like, that's why when people like have gone through a lot of different relationships, when they get older and they still dating, their tolerance is like very like low. Like I can't take that because I've wasted a lot of time. I've wasted a lot of experiences. I wasted a lot of resources.
But so, I mean, even in that, I always made a vow to myself, Dre, when I was really trying to figure out who I wanted to be with. I always told myself, no matter how many times I had to try or how many breakups, I told myself I would never give up on love. I always made a promise to myself.
Because everything teaches you something.
It has to. But I told myself, I don't care how many times I start over. I will never give up on love. And I'm always looking at both sides. Like, what did they do wrong? And what did I do wrong? What did they do right? And what did I do right? Because I don't always get it right. And that be the sick thing, y'all. We be so quick to blame the other person. I'm like, okay, well, let's go down your lane. What could you have done differently in any of these situations?
Yeah.
That could have either made it better or you could have got out of it quicker where you did not waste your time. But sometimes that's not a conversation niggas want to have. We've been talking for 2 hours.
No, technically like 40 minutes.
I was scared like, whoa.
No, it's into the second hour, into the 30 minute of that second hour, but it's an hour and whatever. I don't have time to explain that.
Are you crazy?
Because the way they have it on here is stupid.
Lord.
So I just want to kind of go over some of these sometimes when I watch podcasts or if I'm reading or whatever, or if God kind of gives me a thought, I'll jot it down. So that's what I've been kind of doing lately. So the first thing I have on here, best fruit snacks.
Oh my God, what's the ones?
I know y'all thought
Kellogg's.
it was some Kellogg's.
Yes, the cherry ones and the berry and the strawberry ones, flat out.
Hold please.
I'm not arguing with y'all on that. The Kellogg's fruit snacks have always been the best ones.
I didn't even know Kellogg's had fruit
Yes,
snacks.
sir. It was a purple pack and it was a red pack.
Oh, I do know what you're talking about.
Yes, sir. High school, we was tearing them down.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't eating them.
You didn't like the Scooby-Doo fruit snacks?
Yeah, when I went to my godmother's house, yeah, but at high school,
Scooby-Doo fruit snacks.
they used to hit, but those are like, I felt grown eating them fruit snacks.
Nigga, it's what's the fruit snacks? I had them when we were in the hospital. It's some trees on it. Black Forest. Nigga, them fruit snacks so good.
I don't like the name.
Doesn't matter. Try it. Doesn't matter, nigga. Try it. It's delicious, nigga.
Okay, Black Forest. Please
Black Forest.
send me a picture of
Not
what that look like, because I'm scared. Oh, I've had those. Those are good.
Listen, and so the ones I
Oh,
got.
Black Forest.
What you thought I said?
Black Force. I'm like, what the hell is a
Black Forest, like Air Force One?
Yeah, that's how I'm like, what type of package is that?
It can fight whatever it is. No, so I had some of these at the hospital, and they had the stuff on the inside, like I don't know if it's juice, but I don't know what you call it.
Oh, like
but
Gushers?
like Gushers.
Yeah.
Did you eat Gushers as a kid?
I only wanted them because of the Nickelodeon commercials, but I could not stand that feeling of I'm biting this and it's just
Really?
ooh,
I like the Gushers.
Gushers. The blue ones were the only ones that I really cared for, though. And the packaging was weird. It was like a weird foil.
Facts.
It was
Yeah.
like a weird wax foil. But I
Yeah.
mean, I can understand you had to keep it cold. But you never wanted a pack of.
Slow down.
So you never wanted a pair.
Peter Piper picked a pair
You
of pickled
never
peppers.
wanted
Nigga.
a pack of Gushers that were melted because you were going to have hell trying to get them out the pack.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't stand it. But they were good.
So I don't know why that was just I was gonna make a status and I never did. Put your can't even talk. Put your favorite. Put your
favorite.
Put your pavement. Put your payment in. No, put your favorite fruit snacks in the comments. Because I feel like I'm missing a brand that's really good too. But
Welchers?
for me,
Did they have one?
yeah, but I don't too much care for theirs. This is alright.
That's the new age baby bag.
And I
food.
feel like everybody gonna be like, well, this is good, and I'm be like, eh. But anyway,
That's why y'all don't have back teeth now. I got mine. So yeah, before y'all start going in the comments.
That's so judgmental. I have mine too, but I just thought like, bro, what if something happened and I didn't, and I'm gonna remember this moment.
I'm gonna text you like, Dre, my teeth go. Pull the episode down.
Pull it down. That's the name of this episode.
Pull it down.
Oh, see, one of the lights went out. Yeah, we gotta go. We've been talking.
Yours went out?
That one.
Oh, okay.
But we've been talking long enough. This has been a long episode.
Yes.
I'm extremely tired. We just had a baby, if you don't know, and we're going
Yes.
to talk more about that in the next episodes. Chrissy will be back, but we thank y'all for
Yes.
tuning in to episode 11, season 2. So this is what we're going to do. I'm not going to break it up in seasons anymore. We're just going to keep adding the episodes because that's too much to think about.
No, but I like the seasons. I remember the seasons. You remember the episodes
All right, well, this is episode 11.
of season 2.
Okay, yep, episode 11, season 2. And we love y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Listen, if you're on Instagram, make sure you follow us, the Dream Lab TV, at Dream Lab TV. I'll put it on the screen because I'll probably forget.
And join the community too, guys.
Absolutely. Make sure you join the Dream Lab community on Instagram. We allow all the exclusives are going there first. So it actually goes there first before it comes to YouTube. So make sure that you join the Dream Lab community. Make sure you follow us on all of the stuff. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. And make sure that you tell your mama that I'm still going to come and pick up that Memorial Day plate. I didn't forget about it. It actually might be kind of bad.
Are you crazy?
It actually might be bad. Tell her to throw it away. If she's going to make dinner on Sunday, I'll come pick that up.
Hi, moms. What an ass.
All right. Yeah. And with that being said, another episode of Dream Lab Podcast. Bye.